Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show. I feel like in this moment, it's a moment of grandeur, given the fact that it's the second test match. Springbok coach Rassie Erasmus has shown faith in his squad, naming an unchanged team for the second test against Ireland. That'll be in Durban, not Dublin, Durban. Now, with their confidence bolstered by a win at Loftus Versfeld, the smack talk has begun. The Boks aim to secure a 2-0 series sweep, emphasizing their dynamic style and, of course, strategic prowess. And don't forget, you can place your bets for this match on worldsportsbetting.com if you want to. Now, getting us all fired up, we've got Lorenzo Dadis back on the couch. He moves from tennis to rugby now. A very versatile man, along with rugby content creator Robbie Gillett, who I've seen play games online, and I've been liking all the posts. What a lovely guy. Now, Robbie and Lorenzo, you're welcome.
Yeah.
This is a big one. It's the second test. I know, I've been hearing all sorts of reports. Damien Delendi in the press saying like they're going to come at us a little harder this time. Also, if you look at Rassie Erasmus' decision to stick with the squad. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Do you think it's a case of that? Or is he trying to solidify this particular squad and just say to Ireland, we beat you with this team, we're going to beat you again with this team? What's the thinking?
I think, yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You're
There we
right. But I also think with the new way we're playing, I think you require a little bit of momentum and to build that consistency. So I think to go with the side that's done it before, in a series of side, let's be honest, if Ireland win, we go 1-1. There's not a third game to decide it, so we'll want to obviously, of course, win this. So yeah, I think in a series of side, we're going to go what with the momentum we have. I think.
I just feel like it would be unfair if Ireland win this thing tomorrow. Like I want penalties or something.
Yeah.
Just I'm just saying, like a drop kick penalty. I'm just saying, like.
Joel Stransky's from Durban. Okay, what's going on?
You understand? Like I just want something to decide it. Just so that they can go home knowing that they've been beaten.
Yes.
All due respect, if you are indeed an Irish individual in South Africa, hi, welcome. But in terms of the strategy, Lorenzo, Robbie just mentioned, our way of playing has changed since we saw in that World Cup final. There's a certain dynamism happening in the team now. I feel like there's a lot more. I feel like Rassie is saying to certain players, go and express yourself. And I'm liking that a lot about it. There's no rigidity in the play like you'll see with some of, I'm going to say, like the Irish, like the Scottish, etc. It's very methodical. I feel like we've got this beautiful creativity happening in our play these days. What's happening in the squad that you think is causing the spark?
Yeah, I think Rassie has given Tony Brown, leeway to do what he wants to do with the team. Right? He's gone and he's gotten one of his generals in and he said, look, I know where your strengths lie. How do we implement it? When last have we seen Sia and Peter Steph the Toy standing on wing at the moment and waiting for the ball? The Stormers, when they played with the Stormers. And we saw that, and that was the attacking style that the Stormers had. That free-flowing game, that expansive game. And Tony is going to bring that out in the players, and I'm liking that at the moment. And I feel we can only grow. We looked a little bit nervous, but we had those moments of brilliant in between. Yeah. And we can only get better. Yeah. That's all. We can only get better at what we are doing. And that's what the North is fearing at the moment, is the fact that South Africa, the Springboks, are just getting a little bit better every single time.
And if you look at Pollard, you talk about a general.
Yes.
Look at Pollard. When last have you seen Pollard for the Springboks take a ball to the line?
Yeah.
He's becoming an attacking option straight away. He's actually now a threat. He's not catching, turning his hips and passing. Yeah. He's now hips are square and he's going to the line, which is so good to see because it fixes your defenders. So it creates that space on the outside.
Yeah, and we saw that.
It seemed experimental. I'm not going to lie. Like when I watched that game, now naturally with experiments, it does show a couple of weaknesses. I mean, we did concede. So going into the second test, what are some of the things that you think that Rassie should tighten up? Knowing that we've got this beautiful creative approach, a lot of dynamics that we can use, a lot of players feeling interchangeable at the moment, almost like a total rugby style. So going into this next one to solidify the series, do we go back to basics and foundations and say, right, the experimentation was great, it worked, let's move on? What are your thoughts about what we need to tweak?
Let's be honest, our players are too talented to go back to a thing that is too, it's been tried and tested.
Agreed.
Let's experiment. Like, obviously, it's a series decider.
Yeah.
I think just sort of technically, Ireland, Craig Casey's injured. So they've got Conor Murray, which is going to test us a lot more under the high ball.
Definitely.
So a guy like Kwagga, he's going to have to start well. And then, Willie, I don't think Willie, Chesden and Kirtley were tested too much under the high ball or that well. I don't think Craig Casey kicked particularly well.
So I think that's probably
they'll probably go aerial. They'll probably go sort of a bit more less experimental and take us to a place where they want us to be. So I think if we can I believe we've got to start well. We can't let them get into the game straight away, because then we've got to live with them. I think we've got to make them live with us and start well.
Yeah, and just to add on that as well, we saw what happened with the scrum, last week, and Bongi coming out and saying there's this little dark arts of coming in, a little bit quicker and them engaging before the time. They called us whiners. So I feel like we've gone back to the drawing board. We're going to show them what the dark arts are really like when it comes to scrums. We've shown everyone during the World Cup what we can do, and then our bomb squad coming on as well, and just demolishing you, and now being called unfair. I'm like, where? I would not want to be on the field and be seeing Salman Murat and Arke Snyman standing there fresh and looking at me and saying, hey, how you doing? We back.
And you also don't question Don Herman's craft.
There you go, at all. That's what they did. They went personal on that man, and that man was sitting there. He was just like...
with his floppy.
And he was just like, okay, dankie Rassie.
I love this. Now, odds-wise for this matchup, Lorenzo, what are we looking at for this?
Yeah, brought to you by World Sports Betting. I want you to go on there. 3-10 for a win for the Springboks. Really nice. Myself and Robbie had this chat offline. 28-1 for a draw.
How brave were you?
How brave were you for that
brave.
draw? And I want to say that 28-1 for the Irish to actually, win it. So, it's going to be, they're going to need to pull up their socks if they would like to take the Springboks all the way. But I feel like if you go online, may the odds be in your favor.
Well, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Robbie, thanks a lot for joining us, man. It's always a pleasure. Lorenzo, always a pleasure as well. And you can get in on all the action. Head on over to worldsportsbetting.co.za. Make sure you place your bets on who is taking the second test in Durban. That'll be Saturday, of course. It'll be tomorrow. And, of course, win your share of 20,000 Rand at World Sports Betting vouchers. All you have to do is give us your score prediction for this weekend's matchup between the Springboks and Ireland. And the competition closes 5 p.m. tomorrow, 13 July 2024. Terms and conditions can be found on expressoshow.com. Good luck.